Hi, Internet World. It's Amy Dickinson Campbell, and I'm doing another update on what I know now. But today I'm doing the follow up on the bills because I said a couple of days ago or a few days ago that I was going to do one on just bills. And believe me, just bills. Uh, Congress is insane. They're acting like absolutely crazy. So I go to, just to give you an idea of where I'm at, I go to govtrack.us slant Congress slant bills slant hashtag docket. Now it's bills and resolutions. So some of these are just resolutions and some of these are actually in there. And what I'll do is I'll go and look at the top bills tracked by government track users. And then I'll also go in and look at some of the topics that I'm interested in and following because these people are crazy. There's so many. So I'm just going to read the ones that are trending right now. And then I'll tell you about a couple other ones that I looked at. And then I'll give you some ideas of what's going on. Now, I'll read them as either as HR resolution or it's something else. So, yeah, those are all House resolutions. Okay. Okay. All right, so House resolution. I'm going to do the trending ones. House Resolution 127, the Sabika Chic Firearm Licensing and Registration Act. I'm not going to go into details. I'm just going to read you the ones that are trending. And you're going to be amazed at how many of them are actually guns. All right, then we have H.R. 1 for the People Act of 2021. H.J. Resolution 12, proposing an amendment to the Constitution of the United States to limit the number of terms that a member of Congress may serve. H.J. Resolution 14, proposing an amendment to the Constitution of the United States to abolish the Electoral College and provide for the direct election of the President and Vice President. House Resolution 130, Kimberly Vaughn Firearm Safe Storage Act. House Resolution 125, Gun Safety Not Sorry Act of 2021. House Resolution 57, impeaching Joseph R. Biden, President of the United States, for the abuse of power by enabling bribery and other high crimes and misdemeanors. House Resolution 51, Washington, D.C. Admission Act. And I'll go into what some of these are in just a little bit. House Resolution 38, Concealed Carry Reciprocity Act. House Resolution 848, Green Act of 2021. House Resolution 121, Gun Violence Reduction Resources Act of 2021. House Resolution 167, to prohibit the transfer of a firearm at a gun show by a person who is not federally licensed firearms dealer. That's the title of it. To prohibit the transfer of a firearm at a gun show by a person who is not a federally licensed firearms dealer. House Resolution 40, commissions to study and develop reparation proposals for African Americans Act. What if they're not African? What if they're like black Indian or something? Is it just Africans? Just African descent? What if they're just, I don't know. House Resolution 82, Social Security Fairness Act of 2021. I haven't read that one yet. House Resolution 102, Restoring Faith in Elections Act. House Resolution 225, to amend Chapter 44 of Title 18, United States Code, to more comprehensively address the interstate transportation of firearms or ammunition. House Resolution 350, Domestic Terrorism Prevention Act of 2021. House Resolution 135, Accidental Firearm Transfers Reporting Act of 2021. House Resolution 97, Federal Death Penalty Abolition Act of 2021. House Resolution 137, the Mental Health Access and Gun Violence Prevention Act of 2021. I did read that one. House Resolution 30, Gun Trafficking Prohibition Act. Read that one too. House Resolution 14, censuring and condemning President Donald J. Trump for attempting to overturn the results of November 2020 presidential election in the state of Georgia. That was the title of it. Censuring and condemning President Donald J. Trump for attempting to overturn the results of the November 2020 presidential election in the state of Georgia. House Resolution 24, impeaching Donald J. Trump, President of the United States, for high crimes and misdemeanors. House Resolution 180, Inaction Has Consequences Act. I have not read that. These are just the trending ones now. House Resolution 72, removing a certain member from certain standing committees of House of Representatives. That was the Republican girl. I want to say she was from Georgia. And she was not having any of their crap, and so they took her off a bunch of committees. Anyway, it was that. But let me go back up here. Let me just go over some of these. The Sabika Chic Firearm Licensing and Registration Act. I actually looked at that one. It was Sheila Jackson Lee, and it was introduced on January 4th. And it's to provide the licensing of firearms, ammunition possession, registration of firearms, and to prohibit certain types of ammunition. I have, I'm without reading the entire text, that's just like the synopsis. So yeah, it's they want to license the firearms, the ammunition possession, registration of firearms, and to prohibit possession of certain types of ammunition. Okay, so that's the Sabika one. And then the other one here is like, okay, for the People Act of 2021. I looked at that one, and that's like a voting thing. They want to bring voting into the 21st century and all this other stuff, which is also fine and dandy, but there's so much evidence of fraud. And then they want to allow for e-signatures. I mean, let me explain something. I'm all about e-sig. I love that when we send off PDFs to each other and things like that. I'm all about that. But when it comes to voting, there's so much room for corruption and fraud that you're just making it worse. And I'm not for that. The proposing an amendment to the Constitution to limit the number of terms of the members of Congress. These people don't care. That's not going to go anywhere. It's really great, and I wish it would, but because they should be limited, especially some of these idiots. But it's not going to go anywhere because right before they switched Congresses, and then the inauguration of Biden, right before that, they voted themselves a raise. So while Americans were struggling financially, while people were having a hard time, and they were talking about that second stimulus, before that $600 was sent out to you guys, they voted themselves a raise. Yeah, I don't think that's going to go anywhere. These people are just greedy, and they don't need to be there anyway because they're just wasting our money and time, especially with all of these. Are you kidding me? It's like such a waste of our money and time. Proposing an amendment to the Constitution to abolish the Electoral College and provide for the direct election of the President of the United States. We're not a democracy. We're a representative republic. And we have our democracy portion is at the local level. That's where it's the democracy. That's where you have every vote counts individually at the local level, and then you have a representative that goes and speaks for you at the representative level. And so we're a representative republic, and they do that so that the smaller states have the same equal standing as the larger states. Otherwise, it'd be all larger states run everything, and that's not how it should ever be. The smaller states should have standing too, and so that's why this is it. So proposing this is these people they shouldn't even be there as lawmakers because they don't even understand our laws as they are, let alone try to change them. The Kimberly Vaughn Firearm Safe Storage Act. I haven't read that one. Gun Safety Not Sorry Act of 2021. I did read that one. Hang on a second. Let me pull that one up. It was like that. Sorry, not sorry. Where did I put it? I'll just open it. And I want to say it was that they were limiting magazines and silencers and semi-automatic weapons and all this stuff. Okay, so it's to amend Title 18 to provide a 7-day waiting period before a semi-automatic firearm, a silencer, armor-piercing ammunition, and large-capacity ammunition magazine can be transferred. Okay, so this is what they want to do. This is just a resolution. It's not like a bill or anything. But let me just use me as the example. I can go into a firearm shop, a firearms dealer, an FFL. Someone's completely legal, and I can give them my ID. They can run the background check on me, and I can walk out of there with a firearm that I paid for. The same day, because I clear background like that comes back faster than most people because military stuff, so I'm in the system, no problem. But now they're saying, say I wanted to buy a 9mm, which is a 9mm pistol, is going to be a semi-automatic weapon. Now they're saying I can go in there, give them my information, have to come back 7 days later in order to buy it. Are they going to pay me my gas? Are they going to pay me all this other stuff? How about the shop owner who has to wait to get the money because I have to wait 7 days? When it's already clear. I'm in the system, I'm clear. So why do we have a background check anyway if you're going to make us wait further? That's ridiculous. I mean, that's just ridiculous. It's stupid. Anyway, that was that one. And it's labeled not sorry. I'm going to get to that one in a minute, though. The Gun Safety Not Sorry Act of 2021. What if I need to protect myself and I can't wait 7 days? Are you not sorry then? I mean, heaven forbid. All right, so let me get that one out of there. All right, let me go back to where I was at. House Resolution 57, impeaching Joseph R. Biden, President of the United States, for abuse of power by enabling bribery and other high crimes and misdemeanors. Okay. House Resolution 51, Washington, D.C. Admissions Act. That one, they want to admit Washington, D.C. as like its own state, but they really can't do that because Washington, D.C. is supposed to be impartial, and if its own state, it's going to be all the privileges of being the state where it houses everything. So that's why Washington, D.C. was never been its own state. H.R. 38, Concealed Carry Reciprocity Act. That's where they want to be able to say if you have a concealed carry in one state, it should clear to another. It sounds easy, but states' rights might come into play, so I don't know how that's going to go. H.R. 848, Green Act of 2021. I haven't read that one. H.R. 121, Gun Violence Reduction Resources Act of 2021. How many gun ones have we done now? Are you keeping track? H.R. 167, to prohibit the transfer of a firearm at a gun show by a person who is not federally licensed firearms dealer. H.R. 40, Commission to Study and Develop Reparation Proposals for African Americans Act. Didn't we already cover that? Wasn't there a reparations for African Americans? Because I said something about what if they're not African? Oh, I don't know. H.R. 82, the Social Security Fairness Act of 2021. I haven't read that one. I don't know what that one's in there. H.R. 102, Restoring Faith in Elections Act. H.R. 225, to amend Chapter 44 of Title 18 United States Code to more comprehensively address the interstate transportation of firearms or ammunition. Let's see here. Domestic Terrorism Prevention Act of 2021. I haven't read that one yet, but that ought to get interesting. Federal death penalty abolition. Now remember, I'm only reading the ones that are trending right now. These are just the ones that are trending on that website for govtrack.us. These are the trending ones, the ones that people are following. How many of them? How many of them so far? Firearms. All right, so now H.R. 135, Accidental Firearms Transfers Reporting Act of 2021. H.R. 97, Federal Death Penalty Abolition Act of 2021. All right, and then we have H.R. 30, the Gun Trafficking Prohibition Act. I'm pretty sure we read that one. House Resolution 14, censuring and condemning President Donald J. Trump for attempting to overturn the results of the November 2020 presidential election of the state of Georgia. That's what it's called. Censuring and condemning President Donald J. Trump for attempting to overturn the results of the 2020 presidential election of the state of Georgia. House Resolution 24, impeaching Donald J. Trump, President of the United States, for high crimes and misdemeanors. House Resolution 180, Inaction Has Consequences Act. Inaction Has Consequences Act. I haven't read that one yet. House Resolution 72, removing certain member of standing committees of the House of Representatives. That's the Republican girl who wasn't having any of it, and so they took her off of committees and stuff. Look, I'm already into 13 minutes, and I'm just really going over the headlines. But I wanted to go over like the sorry not sorry one. I wanted to read that headline, and I wanted to change Gun Safety Not Sorry Act of 2021. I wanted to change from the Second Amendment to let me go to the mental health one. I think that's just as good. But think about these gun ones, right? Think about if we changed it to the Second Amendment to another amendment. Okay, so we have the mental health one up here. We'll go to that mental health one. Require concealed carry reciprocity, mental health. Right. Okay, so we have the Mental Health Access and Gun Violence Prevention Act of 2021, right? Mental Health, H.R. 137, Mental Health Access and Gun Violence Prevention Act of 2021. Let's just change this a little bit. Let's just say journalistic credentials. Mental Health Access and Journalistic Credentials Prevention Act of 2021. Or Mental Health Access and Freedom of Religion Prevention Act of 2021. Or how about the 19th Amendment? Mental Health Access and the Women's Right to Vote Prevention Act of 2021. Let's just change that to another amendment. And then how does it sound? Those amendments are our God-given rights that were put into writing so we could have them. And now they want to say, oh, no, we should have better say. And the mental health access one, I read that one. It was pretty short, but it was kind of bad because she wants to provide, Sheila Jackson Lee is the one that wrote it, and she wants to provide extra funding for people to have mental health access, for, especially when they're gun owners. And that in of itself isn't the problem, because, having someone to talk to is always a good thing. But the problem is that they want it also written in there is, and encourage reporting to the background check people. Well, where's the due process? So you have a person that goes in and they talk about having a bad day and how they were feeling and everything else. And then the doc asks, well, are there firearms at the house? Do you think about shooting yourself or shooting others? No, I'm not really feeling about shooting myself. But yeah, we got firearms at the house. So they go and they report to the background guy, to the background people, and say, look, this guy's got firearms and he comes and sees me. Could be a problem. So now if he wants to go buy another firearm, now he can't. Where's the due process? That's illegal in every word, every way. So anyway, again, these are just resolutions, but I mean, this is what they're doing. This is where our tax dollars are going. And of all of those that were trending, did any of them have anything to do with our budget? Our budget, for example, Congress holds purse strings. They're supposed to be handling the budget. Where's the budget? Instead they're talking about other things. Guns. But where's the budget? Where they're talking about all this stuff that's not important right now. There are other things that are important right now. People have to pay their bills. Did you guys see what happened in Texas? They're not even addressing that. That's not even on any of these. And these were like basically just last week and the week before. These people are absolutely insane. Oh, and one of them wasn't trending, but I looked it up. It was for the National Monument. I don't know if I said it or not, but the National Monument. So it's Devil's Tower. The actual title of Devil's Tower is Devil's Tower National Monument, Wyoming. That's the actual title of Devil's Tower. And they put in a bill to change it to just Devil's Tower. Well, here's the thing. I used to work in Sequoia National Park. And Sequoia National Park is one of the oldest national parks in the country. The four oldest were Yellowstone, Yosemite, Sequoia, and Kings Canyon. Those were the four oldest. Well, sometime after I left, so I left in the early 90s, and so sometime after that in the mid to late 90s, or early 2000s, I can't remember what, the Sequoia National Park lost its national park title to Sequoia National Monument. And what that did is it reset its start date to whatever date that was. So it was like, if it was 1998, now all of a sudden it's National Monument, established 1998. Well, that's not true. That park was established over 100 years ago. And with that, they also lost funding because national park titles have more funding coming to them than national monument titles. If they take away the title completely of national monument, what happens to the funding? I mean, I don't understand. I think these people are just writing stuff and they have no idea what they're talking about. So it's just a little crazy. And so I think if you guys could please reach out to your legislators because they're insane. These people are absolutely insane. They're hyper-focused on things they shouldn't be hyper-focused on. I mean, are you kidding me? They're still putting up bills against Donald Trump. Are you kidding me right now? That's where our tax dollars are going. You guys, please. This is already 18 minutes in there, and I barely just touched the surface. I just touched the surface. Those were the trending ones and a couple of extras. All right, you guys be safe out there. Make phone calls. Please make phone calls to your legislators and tell them to focus on what's important because the American people's jobs and prosperity and their safety and security are important. Absolutely. But guns aren't the problem. Oh, so yeah, one of these bills they actually used 33,000 as the number. So I can't remember which one it was because there were so many gun ones. But one of them, they were quoting that their purpose was this is because 2015 they had this gun violence, 2017 they had this gun violence, and the figures show about 33,000 a year in gun violence deaths. Well, I thought, well, a lot of and it was supported. It was introduced and supported by a bunch of Democrats. And so I said, okay, well, Democrats are big on abortion. Let me go check out abortion. So 33,000 a year were the gun violence death or the gun deaths. That could be accidental shootings. It could be violent shootings. It could be anything. It was gun deaths, gun related deaths. Okay, so. But in 2015, there were 899,500 abortions. And now I got those numbers from the Michigan State Abortion tab, and they get them from the Guttmacher Abortion Estimates. And so Guttmacher has been reporting since 1980. So in 2015, they had basically 900,000 abortions. It was 899,500. In 2015. And then 2017, they had 862,300. But yet they have all these laws on limiting guns, gun violence for 33,000 a year average, give or take. Now, obviously, deaths. We don't want to see deaths, but we don't know how many of those were people protecting themselves, or how many of those were criminal against criminal. Seriously. And if they were criminal against criminal, probably they were illegal anyway. And so all these laws, what are they doing? Because people that are illegal are already illegal. They don't care about your laws. Chicago's got some of the worst gun crime in the entire country, and they've got the strictest gun laws in the nation. I think New York's right behind them, and California's following suit. California's idiotic with their leadership. Their leadership is dumb. Anyway, the numbers don't make sense. The numbers don't even add up. They're 33,000 to 900,000. Are you kidding me right now? And if I really wanted to, I could tell you what the average is for those, but just those two. So they gave me an average of 33,000 on there, basically 33,000 over the years of gun violence, but they quoted 2 years. So I'm just going to go right here while I'm talking to you and go on my, go on my calculator, and I'm going to put in that number, 899,500 plus 862,300 equals 1,761,800 for just 2 years, 2015 and 2017. So if they were doing 33,000, that'd be 66,000. But we're going to divide that by 2. And so the average is 880,900. 880,900 to 33,000, right? Right. So why don't we do it this way? So we did 880,900. So we're going to go 33,000 divided by 880,900 equals 3.75. Sorry, it's 0.0375. So we're talking 0.4%. No, 4%. 4%. 4% of the abortions. So you could do the related, but basically 4% of all the numbers, only 4% would be gun deaths average to the 96% abortion deaths. And you have to understand, those were actually, those numbers that I quoted were induced abortions. Those weren't like accidental deaths or something that happened in an accident. The baby was, died because of an accidental injury, or your body terminated the abortion or whatever, miscarriage. So these were actually induced abortions. So deliberate abortion, almost 2 million to 66,000 in 2 years quoted. So, I don't know, you tell me, where's the real problem? All right, I said enough. I'm already in 23 minutes. You guys be safe out there. Have a great day. Love you guys. Bye.